Oh, hoo, 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 hoo. Oh man. Oh man. This is gonna get interesting. Give me a second. Give me a second. Just 1 minute, guys. All right. Sorry about that. Um. Whew, okay. Where do we start? Where do we start? First of all, I'm getting distracted by the Kings game here as they scored because it's a hockey team that's actually competent. Anyway, um, where do I start? I guess first of all, I'm sorry that I'm doing this so late at night. For everyone that's watching on replay, I appreciate it. If you're watching live late at night with me on a Wednesday night, I appreciate you a lot. Leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. I need to mute this, otherwise I'm gonna get distracted. But all I could say is that I'm sorry that I'm going live this late. There was a lot that happened today. I was at the Met game, and then I was outside of Citi Field talking to friend of the show here, Dave, who I don't know if he's going to be in the chat, but if you see him, My Right Nut is his name on YouTube. But I was talking to him outside the stadium. Then on the way home, there was a flat tire issue as I was with Matt, and unfortunately his car got a flat. So there was that whole mess. I didn't get home till really late at night, and then I had to eat. I had things to do, so I couldn't go live earlier. Is the point that I'm getting at? So I apologize. All I know is this. This is as big of a fuck you to the fans that I think I've ever seen in my life. I don't think I've ever seen an organization flip the double bird to their own fan base and kick them in the testicles. Like, I'm talking the type of kick to the testicles that keeps you on the ground for 5-10 minutes, going in circles, writhing in pain. That kind of kick to the damn testicles, just for loving this team so much and for caring about them, sitting every night watching the games, giving our unconditional love and support to this team. Not as much this year, but the point still remains that we freaking bleed our hearts out for this damn team. And they put up the embarrassment of a season that they do. And one of the first things they do this offseason is extend the general manager responsible for all of this. If that doesn't tell you how much ownership does not give a fuck about what you or me, anyone that actually has a pulse of this team thinks, I don't know what to say. And if that's just even further, I mean, we already knew this. I'm not breaking news to anyone here. But this is just, again, further proof that all he cares about is the money. And all I know is that I've seen multiple people on Twitter that I know. Anthony, who's in the chat, is one of them. I've seen multiple people that are ticket holders say they are going to cancel their tickets after the season, or not renew them, rather. And I've seen people say, I'm not showing up to opening night next year, breaking my streak of that. I don't blame you one bit. I don't blame you one bit. And if anything, yeah, it should be flipping them the double bird on the other end of the line when they ask you about renewing tickets. Because are you freaking kidding me that you're extending the GM responsible for all of this? It cracks me the hell up, because I'm not surprised one bit. Like, that's the thing that's insane about this. Like, I'm not surprised one bit by it when you hear Drury referring to Dolan as Mr. D, and you hear about all of the podcasts talking about it. And even when Dolan was on WFAN, I think it might have been last year during the summer or something, and he was like, yeah, Drury's done a great job, and I really love the connection that him and I have. So it doesn't come to me as a surprise. But after that kind of season, no real fan should show up to games next year. And I really can't even hear the side of the people that are like, well, it's fun to go to a hockey game. Why not? Are you really going to be entertained by this crap that Drury's going to put together? Like, are you really going to be entertained by that when you could go down a couple of, take a train ride over to an arena that's cheaper if you want to just catch a hockey game on either side of the river from Manhattan? Like, why would people spend top end dollar to watch this shit when this is the GM and after that kind of season that they had? This is what cracks me up about it too, because somehow, some way, there are still people that defend Chris Drury, and how, I have no clue. But this is what cracks me up about the crowd that still defends Chris Drury, because they'll tell you that Chris Drury deserves to have his job secure and that he shouldn't lose his job because, well, this team has made 2 conference finals. They won a President's Trophy. So I don't think that he should be fired for that. Like, he shouldn't. And on the other side of it, they also, the same people that say Chris Drury led them to the conference finals, led them to a President's Trophy, those same people will tell you whenever Chris Drury can't make a move or doesn't make a move that satisfies us, they'll be like, well, it's Gorton's fault for locking up this core, and he's the one that left Drury with a mess. So which one is it? You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. You can't say Drury led them to conference finals and a President's Trophy, and then also say, yeah, well, this is Jeff Gordon's group, so Chris Drury's handcuffed. Which side of the fence are you on? Because you can't play both sides here. But that's what cracks me up from the minority, because I had the fan police all over me today for being mad about this. But how could you sit here and defend this crap? If any of you watched the season wrap up that we did with Statboy Steven, who really did a good job going into detail about how bad things are with Chris Drury, and it goes back to him being an assistant general manager, because all of this does start then. And you know what? We're honestly idiots for thinking that this was going to work to begin with when he was doing stupid things as the assistant general manager. So let's walk through this, right? So before he's even named the GM, you have the whole Lias Anderson debacle where he, was embarrassing. Lias Anderson didn't want him being with Mika Zibanejad, living with him, I should say. And there was also the whole thing about, I forgot what Steven brought up with that, but something about going overseas or something and just clauses in the contract. I'm not remembering exactly what it was with Lias Anderson, but there was trouble there. Then you have the debacle where he wanted to bring, this is well documented that he was the biggest advocate to bring in David Quinn as the next head coach for the team at that time. They hire him and it doesn't work out, and David Quinn ended up being a moron. So I get he wasn't the GM, but Drury deserves some blame. He was an advocate because at the end of the day, yes, the GM gets the final shot and they didn't have to listen to Chris Drury's recommendation here. But at the same time, that he deserves some blame because he's the one that was so high on David Quinn being like, yeah, this guy is from Boston like I am, and he's going to be the next Mike Sullivan. We got to hire this guy. It did not work out. And then the biggest thing that really is notable in all of this is the way he handled the Vitaly Kravtsov thing. The Vitaly Kravtsov thing, I think, sums up the Chris Drury culture that he has developed and just his GM career in a nutshell. And I want to make this clear because I know I'm going to get the comments in the chat before I even read them. Who cares about Kravtsov? He sucked here. He was soft, this and that. I don't care what you, me, or anyone else thinks of Kravtsov because I didn't love the way Kravtsov was when he was here either. Do not get that mistaken. However, It is not right as a professional in the organization to stop practice for the Hartford Wolfpack to rip Vitaly Kravtsov in front of his teammates because he said that he wanted to go back to Russia, which, by the way, is in the contract. It was within Kravtsov's contract rights to go back to Russia and play in tractor for a bit if he felt he wasn't getting the tools and the development that he needed here. So he wanted to go back to Russia. Chris Drury decides to stop the practice in Hartford to rip him to shreds and embarrass him in front of his Hartford teammates. Instead of pulling him into the office and saying, well, listen, I don't love the idea of you going back to Russia. I'm trying to think of how I want to word this, but either way, this should be a private conversation being along the lines of like, yo, like, we want you here in this organization. And even if you feel you could develop better in Russia, we want to give you the tools and we want to see you here playing here. And, you know, give him confidence while also being like, all right, why are you going back to Russia, man? Just some sort of way to word it. But instead, you embarrass him in front of the entire locker room in Hartford. Come on. And in the middle of practice, that's embarrassing. And then you have on top of that, Kravtsov, and this is what Steven was bringing up. Kravtsov one time wore a Hartford Wolfpack t-shirt during a post-game interview. And Chris Drury pulled him to the side and told him to not do that again. Really? Why does it matter? Why does it matter if he's wearing a Wolfpack shirt or a Ranger shirt? Who gives a flying fuck? And then there was another time, and Statboy Steven couldn't drop the name of the player, which I get it because this is personal stuff. I get respecting the player. But Steven was also talking about how there was a player who someone in their family was battling through something and was in the hospital, and you know, the player, it was a prospect, I believe, who wanted to attend the matter and, you know, really focus on that individual that was going through something in the hospital. And Chris Drury suspended that player without pay and said, no, you can't do that. Some of this is all with him as an assistant general manager, by the way. Then we talk about as a general manager, how he embarrassed Buchnevich to the point where Buchnevich, I mean, we see him liking anti-Ranger posts on Instagram all the time. You have multiple scratches that came out this year talking about how much it was a freaking dumpster here and how they felt like they were dying, in the words of Jimmy VC. This is the type of culture that stems from Chris Drury. The New York Islanders, who had, again, think of what you want with Lou at his age, and he's made some dumb moves. Do not get this twisted. But there's something to be said about the culture that he was able to bring to the Islanders, to where people freaking, like, the players there played with some spine, and even if their team wasn't good enough to win, those guys actually had a sack, and you never heard them complain or anything because you have a general manager at the top that's well respected and was able to bring that type of culture together. And the Islanders were able to fire that guy after that kind of season that they had. But the New York Rangers, with all the drama this season and all the toxicity that Chris Drury has brought from back to his assistant GM days, no, we can't fire him. He's got to stick around because, you know, he inherited a Jeff Gordon core, couldn't bring them over the top. But you know what? They got close enough, but they didn't get all the way to the finals or win a finals. But you know what? Let's give him another chance to revitalize this group that he didn't even build. And if anything, he's taking gigantic steps backwards with. That's the guy that gets to stay around for, I don't know how long the extension was. I don't think we even got the official report on that because the Rangers tweet, oh, look at the details. And then there's no actual details. This organization just, heaven forbid, they let the fans know about anything. No, why would we keep the fans updated? The point remains, I don't care how long the extension was. It could have been 1 year. It could have been 10 years. You don't extend him after this kind of season. And it's a slap in the face to the fans. It's a slap in the face to even some of the players that have spoke out about how they don't like him. And even though, again, the players deserve their blame and they're a bunch of softies as well in that dressing room that deserve to get moved. But on the same side of it, if they move him, Chris Drury's not replacing these guys with anyone good. I mean, he's proved that this past year. Look at the decor right now. It's dog shit. Slap in the face to whoever the next coach is, because it's what I said in the last, or not the last episode. I mean, I did say it a bit in the Ranger wrap up, but what I really hammered home when Laviolette got fired is who wants to come here when Chris Drury is going to be safe and the coach is the next guy in the line of fire, no matter what? Why would anyone coach here unless they're desperate or making an absurd amount of money that they can't pass up? Why the hell would anyone coach here? Because you have Chris Drury, who's Mr. Accountable over here, but at the same time, he fires everyone and doesn't show any sort of accountability in the slightest because he ducks the media all the time. And the times he does show up to the media, you know, he gives you this bullshit GM talk that no one's buying any of that crap. And it's not even good crap that he's selling you. I mean, this is just pathetic. And this is honestly as low as it gets. I was sitting outside of Citi Field, like I said, with Dave and Matt, and you could ask them. They'll say it in the chat, confirm it. I was in silence for, I think, 30 minutes after that news dropped because they were talking, and I was just sitting there in silence with my head down. I was defeated because at the end of the day, as much as people want to spew the narrative that I don't care and that I'm a fake fan or whatever, I care. With everything in me, I care and want nothing more than for this team to win and have just competence. Because I walked out of Citi Field with the biggest smile on my damn face, knowing that team's got an owner, that team's got a smart GM running the team, and it puts a smile on my damn face knowing every time I go to Citi Field, I'm at least expecting a competitive game. If they don't give it, you know it's baseball, it's 162. But for the most part, they're gonna show me some spine, show me some testicles, pause. But at the very least, I'm like, you know what? There's some competence here. Where if God forbid something does go south, those guys I trust to handle the situation. Here with the Rangers, fuck no, it's the ass opposite. Instead, now I sat out there, head down when that news dropped, thinking we are complete and utterly fucked. We are completely fucked. And Matt and I talked to Joey D. You guys know him, Joey D, because we wanted to get the positive spin, right? That's what Joey does. Joey's got nothing positive. That's how bad it is. All he was able to say is he hopes Chris Drury somehow ends up proving all of us wrong. And you know what? I agree with him, but he's not going to become a good GM suddenly overnight. And it's wishful thinking. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And no one should be showing up to games. And this is the thing that's unfortunate because I was talking to my Islander fan friend about this entire situation. And I was like, at least with the Islanders, when things are going south, that building's empty. So you know what? You're sending a message to management. We have no way of sending a message to management because the fans in suits are still going to go there and eat this up because you know what? Let's go hang out after work at a Ranger game and then leave with 10 minutes left in the third period. But hey, you know what? It's fine. We had a good, nice hangout for 50 minutes of a hockey game plus the intermissions. So there's no way of sending a message here because I mean we've tried. That's very abundantly clear, and it does not matter. I mean, look at the replies under the Rangers tweet announcing the extension of Drury. Dolan lapdog. And the problem is, too, right? If I want to sit here and try my best to find a positive about Chris Drury, because I've tried this exercise in the past, there's just always a catch when he does the rare good thing. Because it's very rare that he does a good thing, but when he does a good thing, there's always a catch to it. Like trading Truba without retaining salary and getting that full contract off the books. That was a good move. But the catch is that same exact night he extended Igor Shesterkin. Barclay Goodrow, well, he put on waivers. You know what? That's a good move. Get rid of Goudreau's cap hit in full. And you know what? That's a good move. That opens cap space. They don't do anything with the cap space. So, anytime he does do anything, there's a catch to it. That's the problem here. Where it turned for me the most with Chris Drury, and I will stand on my grounding. You know what? I lost my mind in the moment when Gensel went to Carolina, and part of it was frustration because I was streaming so much, anticipating him being a Ranger. And I crashed out beyond belief. If you were there, you were there. If not, you could go back and watch it. My crash out. You know what? I've apologized for how bad that crash out was. I actually don't regret it anymore. I don't. Because Chris Drury, that was the moment where I looked and said, you failed this team. You failed them. You had a team at the top of the standings and you don't go all in. And the one time that group deserved to be rewarded with something, you don't reward them. But instead this year, let's give up assets when they're not going to make the playoffs. But let's go give up assets to get JT Miller, Carson Soucy, and Will Borgen and all these other dog shit players. This is the year that we trade assets. But no, not in the President's Trophy year, not in the year where we hung up the regular season banner for a reason, right? No, not that year. This year is when we give up prime picks and everything. What a mess. And you know what? You get the sense from the coaches, too, that they don't like him either. Because Gerard Gallant and Peter Laviolette, again, say what you want about those two. I have my opinions about both of them. There were things that I liked and didn't like about both coaches. But you know what? Both of them were absolutely had a point and said similar things on the way out about, how the message doesn't get through to these guys and everything. And then Chris Drury goes out and fires the coach instead of replacing the players when the coaches are the ones saying these guys quit. But both coaches pretty much checked out because Chris Drury gets in the shouting matches with them and defends these players to no end for whatever reason. But you could see it from the coaches. Certain times from the players, you could see it from the scratches, even the top players. But then it doesn't make sense because Drury defends these players despite it. I hate it here. I absolutely hate it here. Because there's no silver lining in all of this. That's the problem. It's legit. Where do you go from here that can work or make sense? Because all this told me, this extension, is the thing that I felt, right? Because I had people telling me, like, yeah, maybe Drury is on the hot seat. I'm like, I don't think so. I think he's a lapdog. I'm like, if they miss the playoffs though next year, I could see him getting fired. This extension tells me that I'm wrong about that even. They're not firing him even if they miss the playoffs next year. They're not firing him. And they could fire him despite the extension, but they're not going to. They're not. I don't know if Drury has dirt on Dolan. I don't know what it is. He's not going anywhere. It's just, it's really infuriating when you just look around the league and see competent front offices, competent coaching staffs, competent players, and it's just like, fucking want that to be us. Like, even the teams that are down in their series right now, they would destroy the Rangers in a playoff series. Absolutely destroy the ever living piss out of them. And this is the thing. You have teams like the Blackhawks who might get out of their rebuild and win another cup before the Rangers do. You got the San Jose Sharks who are going through a rebuild right now. They have far more hope than this team does that went through a rebuild earlier than them. I mean, you have the Anaheim Ducks even that have a light at the end of the tunnel. This crap, where the fuck is the light at the end of the tunnel here? Somebody tell me, because I'm not sitting here trying to be the Debbie Downer and be, you know, all doom and gloom for the sake of it. I genuinely don't know where it's coming from that I still have people telling me, oh, but this, but that, you're a fake fan, this, that. Where is this coming from, this optimism? Where is it? Tell me. Would love to hear. And you know, the only team, honestly, that I think is just as incompetent as the Rangers right now is the Seattle Kraken. Because they fired their coach after 1 year, and Ron Francis is still somehow there when he shouldn't be. I mean, that, I don't know why they gave him a promotion. That was stupid. But that's the only other team I could look at and say they're at the incompetence level that we are. But you know what the difference still is? There's still at least some young talent there. There's no drama going on there. And the other difference is the fans are going to be able to actually get their frustration through by not showing up to games. Because that's the thing that pisses me off the most out of all this, is that fans are still going to show up to the Garden on a nightly basis, sell out that fucking building, and it doesn't matter because we're never getting our message through because the casual fans are still going to show up no matter what. When this team desperately needs to hit Dolan where it matters the most, and that's his wallet. Because if he wasn't getting revenue, then maybe there would actually be changes. I'm sorry that I haven't read much in the chat for 30 minutes now. I needed to go on this tangent because I'm just so fucking pissed right now. This shit, like, genuinely, I was already pissed from everything else that went down. Like I said, the freaking flat tire and everything that drove me insane. But this lapped it by a billion. Like, this genuinely destroyed my entire day. Like, I walked out of Citi Field so freaking happy that the Mets ended up winning that game that maybe they didn't have business winning with certain points of that game, but they still ended up winning. Walked out with a smile on my face. That shit destroyed me. Because that just told me, it just told me that we're in for a rough ride here. We're in for a rough ride here, and it's going to be a very long time until they're out of this. And you know what? The fans that have experienced the dark ages, at least they're eating this up because they're like, you know what? These young fans finally get a taste of it. I think I would be in. I think I would need to be instituted if I went through the dark ages and now I'm going through this. I think I would need to be instituted. because I can't take this to begin with. It's just ridiculous. It's really just ridiculous. But you know what? It's what I get, I guess, for supporting this team an obnoxious amount, right? Supporting this team more than any of my 4 sports teams, right? This is my reward. Getting this team tattooed on my body out of all 4 of my fucking sports teams. This is my reward, right? Just a gigantic kick in the damn fucking testicles. What's up, Matt?
Guys, the tire is okay. We made it back, obviously. So it was a rough day after a very good win by the Mets. Yeah, it was tough to deal with. I mean, like as you said, walking out of City Field, realizing that this team currently has the best record in baseball, and then meet up with Dave, have a good little chat, and then that news drops, and it just basically ruined the whole day after that.
And you know what? I didn't even mention the ironic part about it. The ironic part is that we were talking about the stupidity of the Rangers and Chris Drury, and then that news fucking dropped. Continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's just no. You're good. You're good. Just get it all out, because I don't know anymore. I don't know. Well, like I said, for me, I'm not spending any more money on this team. No more jerseys, no more shirts, no tickets. Not going anywhere near the garden. No, actually, no, that's not wrong. The only time I'm only going near the garden is because I'm probably going at the Penn Station to get some canes. That's about it. Other than that, I want to be nowhere near that building, because it's just, I mean, as you were saying, I mean, like you brought up the Kraken before as the only other team that's probably as incompetent as the Rangers, and like I said, the only difference is Seattle's been an organization for only 4 fucking years. This has been 100 years of incompetence in New York. 100 years compared to only 4.
Sabres are the only other team giving a
Yeah,
run for their
the
money.
Sabres you could say too, because
That's really about it. And yeah, like this comment too. Like this is what we're building around, guys. It's great. This is great, right?
yeah. And I can also confirm that when that news broke, Evan was certainly indeed silent for about like a good half an hour, because I know I called. He was in silence. I called my dad. I told him I'm done cheering for this team because I can't do it anymore. It's just it's like I always say, like there is a huge difference between being bad and just incompetent, because you can be bad and still have you can still have a direction and an idea going forward, because like the ones that you brought up, right? Chicago, San Jose, like they're bad right now, but there's ultimately a direction. There's an end goal in place to get to, with getting out of the rebuild, developing the young guys, eventually surrounding them with good veteran talent, and then taking the next step, making the playoffs, and then ultimately winning the cup. What is the Rangers' identity? What is their ultimate goal? It's not to win a cup, because why are you extending a guy that took the franchise backwards? If this was any other sport, that not even any sport, this is any other team. The team was a President's Trophy winning team. And say what you say, like I always stand by the fact that that team for me was never a President's Trophy winning team, just by the way they played. But they still won the President's Trophy. They were still the best team in the league. And you have a GM who thought it wasn't a good idea to go out and get a bona fide all-star, proven point per game playoff performer. You say, nah, I'm good. You know what? I'm going to get Jack Roslovic. I'm going to get Alex Weinberg, because surely that will put us over the edge. Nope. Sure, they win 2 series, and they get ran out of the building against the Florida Panthers. And don't give me this, it was a 6-game series, because all of you, and I know most of the people in this chat, they're very good people. They're very educated hockey fans, so I credit to you guys, but it's to the other people. Anyone who ever tells you that that was a 6-game series, they're fucking lying to you, because if it wasn't for Igor, that shit was a sweep. And they should have taken the time and evaluated themselves to say, okay, this is not working. We need to go in another direction. They should have retooled in the offseason, but no, they should have ran it back. And you know what? For me, and I put in the chat earlier that for me, my final breaking point with Drury and the point where I gave up on him and I wanted him fired, I wanted him fired after the trade deadline because of how he fucked that up. But I gave him a chance in the offseason because I looked at the Goodrow, the Goodrow situation and how they put him on waivers and how they got rid of him easily. Listen, ultimately, do I think Mike Greer did his buddy a favor? Yeah, I did. But still, he got rid of him. And I said, okay, listen, cool. You got rid of him. Get rid of Trouba. And then we heard the news of maybe the Rangers could go after and get a guy like Gensel. Maybe Kane comes back. And the whole Trouba situation spirals the fuck out of control. He stays, causes just a whole cancerous just mess in the locker room. We end up getting Sam Carrick, who, okay, fine. Sam Carrick was actually a decent player. Like, I'm not going to go after Sam Carrick, but the fact that that was how you responded after getting just embarrassed in the conference final, it's like, and then again, you trade Trouba, you have a chance to get it right. GMs don't usually get a chance to fix their mistakes after they fuck up. And within hours, you extend Igor Shesterkin. And then you go out when the team quits on you and you reward them by saying, I'm going to give you JT Miller. They trade Capo Caco. They get Will Borgen. They extend him, even though the extension was fucking stupid. They get Carson Soucy, who's shit. They missed the playoffs. And what is Chris Drury's reward? It's not him getting fired. No,
never.
No, it's here's another extension, buddy. It's embarrassing. It's incompetence. And I don't get how people can put up with this shit. Like, cool, cool. Listen, you can be a fan, but at the same time, you can be angry and you can call it the incompetence. Being blindly positive and saying that just everything magically is going to fix itself, that's not the right way of being a fan. Being a fan is cool. Support your team, but also call out the bullshit and the incompetence when you see it and hold the team accountable and hold everyone accountable.
And demand better.
And demand better. Seriously, 100 years, 4 Stanley Cups. We have as many fucking regular season champions as we do Stanley Cup banners in MSG. It's an embarrassment. And it's going to continue. I'm telling you. And I said this on the Rangers wrap-up stream that we did with Big Apple Hockey and Joey D and Johnny Elijah and Stapo Steven. And by the way, if anyone in this chat hasn't seen that that stream, make sure you guys go check it out because that was a really good stream. But like I said, fans got to prepare because there's a very good chance that this may be 5, 6, 7 years of no playoffs. And sure, maybe like how we were saying, maybe there's the occasional year where they sneak in. Okay, at best, they sneak in and they're going out in 5 or 4 in the first round. Nothing more.
No, and then I said to you, they'll go out in 7 because Dolan's going to get his playoff revenue and be like, hey, you know what? We're taking positive strides here. But no, it was a problem when Gordon and JD were here and doing that. And that's the thing that's so annoying. It's like you have a GM that they get to the conference finals and it's like you don't do anything the next offseason to get them over the hump. You just run it back when they looked uncompetitive in that Florida series, like you mentioned. It's just so stupid. And I just don't understand how anyone could sit here and blindly defend this shit like you were saying. But then the next year, oh, you know what? We want to give up assets to get veteran players that maybe would help us. Where was that urgency last year when you were a President's Trophy team to get the veteran help and actually reward the team when they were worth rewarding? It's just stupid. And that's the thing that you were saying too. Like, at least when the Mets last year, when we expected them to be bad going into the season, right? We expected it. But we said, you know what? David Stearns is here. We could at least see a light at the end of the tunnel. He's going to evaluate what we have, and then let's see the strides that they make going forward. They surprise everyone and go to the National League Championship Series.
What are they doing?
Even if they sucked last year, I would at least be able to be like, you know what? There's a competent GM. There's a competent owner. There's something brewing here, and something is going to change at some point, and you can live with it, and you can embrace the short-term sucking, knowing that long-term they're going to be fine. How do you embrace this shit? How do you embrace what's going to be long-term suckitude? I just don't know how you defend this
And
shit.
then and then like we said,
It's
like the
Will
thing
Pun Mets shit. Like,
it's
holy
worse than
fuck.
it's worse than Wilpon Mets. This is worse than Wilpon. I mean, it's like the thing like you said, right? Like sitting on your hands after a good year or quote unquote good year. Because for me, last year was a failure, even though they made it to the conference final. That was not a good year. I don't care what anyone tells me. It was a failure of a season. But like, look what the Mets did. Like, they had a very good season. They surprised everyone, made it to the NLCS. Then what did they do? They went out and signed the best free agent in baseball in the offseason in Juan Soto. And sure, people could say, "Oh, Juan Soto's not performing right now." Okay, sure. Like he's having a down start so far, and even his down start's good. And you know what? He's gonna turn it around. And you know what? With him being a down player so far, they still have the fucking best record in baseball. So you know what? Fucking kiss my ass. I don't care. But it's just, and even like Nick was saying from Windy City Hockey, like Blackhawks, 100 years, 6 cups, 2 Presidents Trophies. And the funny thing is, before the Blackhawks had their little dynasty run, they had the least cups out of any original six team. They hadn't won since like 1961, I believe, something like that. And then they go out there and in the span of 3 and 5 years, they won six. They won 3 cups in the span of 5 years. Because you know why? Because they actually went out there. They did a proper rebuild. They could actually develop young talent like Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves, Duncan Keith, guys like all that. They didn't have to fucking overpay for goaltenders. They didn't need a fucking Igor Shesterkin and then give him $11.5 million. No, they won 3 cups. One of them was Antti Niemi, who was an above-average goaltender, and 2 of them was with Corey Crawford, who, to be fair, Corey Crawford was a good goalie, but, you know, he was no elite goalie, certainly, because you build in front of the goalie.
And that's the thing that's driving me the most insane is that they fucking lied to us about this rebuild, too. It's like they fucking half-ass this bullshit. Look at every team contending for the Stanley Cup right now. All of them went through the fucking proper rebuild, got the pieces they need. This team doesn't have a Nathan McKinnon. This team doesn't have a Cale Makar. This team doesn't have a Connor McDavid. This team doesn't have a Leon Draisaitl. But no, this is what they tried to sell you with, that you know what? Panarin's going to help accelerate this rebuild. Meanwhile, Kakko, they fucking trade for pennies on the dollar instead of trading him last year to go all in, and they settle for Will Borg and extend him to make the trade look good. And Alexi Lafreniere we're looking at as a potential middle six winger now at best, and that's at the very best. Because do you see anything more than a 60-point winger in this guy? I sure as hell don't. I don't see the ceiling anymore that we talked about last offseason, that he could be a point per game guy. The guy's too fucking lazy, and until he goes out and shows me that he's going to give at least some effort on a nightly basis, I don't want to hear any bullshit that he could be a point per game player. I need to see it to believe it. And these were the guys that were supposed to drive the rebuild. This roster consists of guys that are over 30 years old that fucking suck and that are cancerous.
That letter was sent out 7 years ago, and 7 years in, look at the average age of this roster. Look at how many guys that were drafted over those drafts. Look at how many guys are here. Alexi Lafreniere, Braden Schneider,
Keandre Miller.
And there's a good chance that he might be gone next year, and deserved, because he's not good either, and I don't want to give him an extension. But still, this is just
2 bottom 4 defensemen and a middle 6 winger.
Yeah. It's fuck up after fuck up. You're arguably your best guy so far out of these drafts has been Will Cooley, who again was a guy that the pick was traded for by a guy that was a draft bust in the 2017 draft that you picked 7th overall in Elias Anderson.
And still, what is he? What is he probably at best?
Middle six.
A middle 6 winger. At best, a middle 6 winger. You need elite talents from your picks. I'm sorry, you don't win. Look at every team around the league. You don't win without that. Barkov last year. And you know what? The Golden Knights, they were handed most of their team, but they got aggressive and got Jack Eichel. It was basically like getting their own fucking franchise first overall pick, because they actually got aggressive while the Rangers sat on their hands and didn't want to move Hedel, Niels Lundqvist, and whoever. Oh, and Kravtsov. That was the other guy that, by the way, Chris Drury embarrassed in the locker or at practice, right? It's the guy that he embarrassed. But no, we can't move him the guy that we then ended up moving to for a first round pick, and Filipino, who they moved for Miller. Yeah. You know, but no. Let's let Vegas go get Jack Eichel. Nathan McKinnon wins a cup with Colorado. Tampa Bay gets Braden Point in the fucking 3rd round. Gets guys like Yanni Gord in the 7th round.
Draft
Steven Stamkos. Victor Hedman. Do I need to continue to go on? And yeah, they have Gabe Perreault, who I'm sure they'll fuck him up too.
They've already started that process.
They've already started doing it.
And wait, no, they have Brendan Othman too, who, by the way, what is his ceiling probably?
3rd line.
Middle 6 winger.
3rd line
Middle
winger.
6 winger. Do you see the pattern? They don't fucking develop these guys. They rot on the 4th line and in the fucking press box.
Because they're learning
Because
proper
that's
hockey.
the problem. Even if they get prospects, they're not going to fucking develop them. So who gives a fuck if they win the lottery this year? Because what? Oh, James Hagens, future 4th line stud. Can't fucking wait. Can't fucking wait.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's going to be great when he's sat in a do or die game in the playoffs. And you know what? It's going to be great when they trade him for a future 3rd pair defenseman because they're too busy diminishing his fucking value. That's going to be fucking great. Can't wait.
Oh.
They'll fuck up Gavin McKenna. I'm shutting up now. Go ahead.
I don't even know what to say at this point. Like, that has already been said. But I really just looking back on this before this even started, I feel like every single day, whenever we see something from the Rangers or something that happened, even though the season ended and it's a lot different now because games are not being played. And we just keep asking ourselves, how can this get worse? How can this get worse? We have to stop asking ourselves that, because they just do it all by themselves. No more benefit of the doubt. No more. They dug themselves into this entire grave. We've already said how fucked they are, and now they just enabled it. Congratulations. I listen. I'm not even saying this as an over exaggeration. You invited cancer back into your life. That's what you just did today. And I don't think anybody can say that's an over exaggeration, because of all we've seen on the ice, off the ice, from tons of things that we have heard from, tons of sources and things going on behind the scenes. From the leaders, this is what they want. This is what they're okay with. They just told you, hey, we didn't make the playoffs. Hey, this team's rotting like a fish. Hey, we're screwed long term, but guess what? We're fine. Look at Drury's win-loss record as a GM. It's all good. Put a bow on it, shut up, and love it.
Results.
That's what they just told you. They told you they don't give a shit. They told you they don't care about actually winning. I'm not doing the benefit of the doubt, not saying, oh, maybe if he... No, he's not going to do it. Anybody that says, oh, maybe he gets this and does this and this... No, he ain't doing that.
Hey, guys, who'd they draft with that 1st round pick they kept? Who'd they draft this past year? Who'd they draft? E.J. Emery. 1 point. The worst college season by any 1st round pick in the history of hockey. The worst. He couldn't accidentally get a few points. Couldn't luck into a few secondary assists here and there. I don't care that he's not known for his offense. Luck into a few. He couldn't do that. Like,
even
holy
Schuber
shit.
could luck into a few.
It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. And nothing's going to change. And you know what? You're right, though, Matt, that the new results, man, should just be Chris Drury, because he's only saying because of the results this team got, even though, again, the same people, the same motherfuckers that defend Chris Drury say, oh, well, Jeff Gordon inherited the score, so there's only so much Drury could do, are the same ones that are like, oh, but he led this team to the conference finals twice and led this team to a President's Trophy.
Yeah. Not the same. Yeah, you can't have it both ways. That's just like the the people on my show, they're like, "Oh, you can't complain about anything. We're in first place." It's like, like with the Mets, it's like, "Oh, well, right now we're in first place." Okay, so if first place actually matters as an argument, then it's only April argument can't work for anything else. So again, it's like you can't have it both ways. Again, I'm so beside myself at this point where I'm like, I'm just expecting the other shoe to drop with this team. Like that's literally it. They're such a joke. They will be a joke for years and years to come. And I 100% can say that with so much confidence, because that's all they have showed me ever since they promoted this fucking moron to the GM position. And now they just enabled it. That's what they just showed. That's exactly what they showed. Because nobody really heard any talk about Chris Drury getting extended. We heard talk about maybe him getting fired, maybe this being his last year. And then what did they do today? They turned around and said, nope, he's here to stay. That's what he just said.
It's your typical...
That's what they said.
Yeah, it's your typical billionaire bullshit that they just want you for the money. It's literally the Wilpon bullshit all over again. Let me address a few donos before I keep going down a rabbit hole for ranting. Thank you for the $5, Nick. A team that promotes a guy like Rempe, who wouldn't be on any other NHL team. The Rangers management is a clown show. Like, this is the thing. Like, the one prospect.
You can articulate that from so many different things, though, to be honest.
The one young player they're willing to throw out there every single night is Matt fucking Rempe. And he does play, you know what? He gives an effort out there, but this is the one guy that you're actually...
He's a fourth liner.
He's a fourth liner. This is the guy you're giving the time of light to the most. I'm shaking right now because my blood's fucking boiling. Thank you for the $2. Time to wake up. Odds we could get a JD straight shot song request.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they hire. It doesn't matter who they bring in. It will still be the same with this guy at the top.
It doesn't matter.
And it's probably still will be the same even if they got rid of Chris Drury, because Dolan owns this team.
Yeah, and they would have just hired the next lapdog.
It does. They don't care. And to be honest, all I know is with how predictable that this has become, how we can continue to just predict every single thing of how this team is going at the trend that it is going, John Tortorella will be the coach for this team next year. 100%.
And if not...
And to be honest, when that happens, I'm just going to sit here and laugh, because they are the clown show that they are presenting themselves as.
Listen, we're already having a very good chuckle right now. So
I am chuckling so hard, dude. My head's gonna explode. All right.
And if it's not Tortorella, which apparently Arthur Staple was saying that it might be a GM, or not GM role, a front office role that John Tortorella would get. That's just as stupid. And if it's not Tortorella getting the coaching job, it's going to be someone like Rick Tocchet. So again, who gives a fuck? And this is the thing, like, for the crowd like me who wants David Carl's not coming here. David Carl wants to go somewhere, and it's been well documented. He wants to go somewhere
be lapdogged by Drury. It doesn't matter.
He wants to go somewhere that's competent and he has a chance to win. That is not the criteria.
Well, look at the GM he would work for. Look at his win-loss record. It's so great. Basically just shows you exactly what we knew all along. Dolan has absolutely no idea what the hell he's doing. He doesn't even realize that he owns the team half the time. And just pays attention to the win-loss record and all of the scoreboard watching that all these fucking idiot fans constantly do and shove in your face, saying everything is fine. No, everything is not fine. You just missed the playoffs, and guess what? It's going to get worse from here. And if you tell me that the cap is going up, you can take your cap and shove it straight up of your sphincter that it comes out of your mouth.
It's clear that Dolan doesn't know shit about fucking hockey. That's why he keeps 85-year-old Glenn Sather around him, who's a fucking dinosaur. It does make sense because, as we learned a couple weeks ago, how Chris Drury has a grand total of one analytics guy in his fucking department in modern day 2025 and modern day sports, and you got one analytics guy in your fucking department.
I was
I
gonna
guess I
say is
can't.
one analytics guy because
And they're
you know
okay
what? We
with
could
it.
save money on the payroll, and Chris Drury is just so smart that we could save money on the payroll and not pay guys to help him in the analytics department.
Yeah,
We don't have to worry. Chris Drury's so smart. He's the smartest guy in the room. And you know what? This fucking backs up the theory that I had and the theory that all of us on this screen had when we said that this is the Chris Drury show and no one else in that room has a voice at all. This backs it up further that he's the smartest guy in the room and no one else's opinion matters in that room. It's just him.
Oh, it was no, that was clear that Drury is the only guy running the room, and it was backed up by Steven yesterday, who basically said that Drury was basically targeting and looking at acquiring guys like Susie, Borgen, and fucking Parson for the last 3 years. Those were the 3 guys you were targeting for the last 3 years, not actual talented players. Not, maybe getting a guy like Warren Fogle, who, by the way, has 2 assists tonight for the LA Kings and put up like 47 points in the regular season this year.
Wait, who said they should get him? By the way,
No.
who was saying that?
I mean,
it couldn't have been us on the screen, right?
We all did it. Yeah.
No, it couldn't be us. We're stupid.
I'm
we don't
pretty
know
sure
what we're
that
talking
tree
about.
out there outside my window told me that too. But Chris Drury wasn't there for it.
No, that tree is stupid then for saying it because Chris Drury knows better than
Let me
anyone
tell you,
else.
he's a nerd and a doomer. All right, fuck you, tree out there. Fuck him.
Yeah, he's just being negative for the sake of it. Like,
Yeah.
no, yeah, and Eric Robinson too, Michael Madio, like all these guys that we talked about, the dumb side of the fan base talked about, right? Those assholes,
The fake fans.
the negative people,
the fake fans,
fans
that wanted the team to be better. Yeah, those guys,
the nerds.
Yeah, the geeks. Yeah.
It's terrible. And I mean, like, just like the point, like how Carson brought up, where it's like you're welcoming back the cancer into your life, and you're welcoming it back with open arms. I mean, people told me that because we all heard the stuff about how it was pretty kind of toxic under a guy like JD and Gorton when they were here, and we saw guys like fucking Sean Day terminate their entry level contract, and guys weren't getting their chance, the prospects weren't getting their chance to play. Well, and apparently people told me that Chris Drury was the solution. He was going to fix everything, and then
he was a player.
I mean, let me tell you, when Steven, because how we were talking about, because I didn't like I said, we knew that Drury and Kravtsov, that there was a verge between those two, but when Steven legitimately told me that he went out on the ice and stopped practice and embarrassed Kravtsov in the middle of his teammates, I mean, what a fucking asshole. Listen, if that was me and fucking someone did that to me, I would have fucking punched him in the face. And then all the shit like you brought up with Elias Anderson, right? Because I actually remembered what Steven said. It was to treat an injury, and they wouldn't let him go back to fucking Sweden to treat it on his with people that he knows there, and he eventually did it. And guess what? He got suspended and fined. And then the person who who wasn't named, or their family member was in the hospital, and they want to stay back and hang out with them and basically want to look after them, before going to training camp. And this asshole, this motherfucker, this fucking terrorist says, no, you can't. You can't do that. Are you fucking kidding me? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
and then people
apparently he bashed Buchnevich on the way out too.
And then people wonder why this fucking the whole organization is toxic from top to bottom. It starts with the fucking owner, it goes down to the general manager, it goes down, through the coaching staff, and then it goes down to the fucking players. So it's not a fucking surprise. If you just follow the clues, if you follow the fucking map, you'll find the answer to why everything's fucked in this organization.
Shitty ownership, shitty management, shitty coaching, shitty players. What a shocker. It's a chain reaction in sports, and you need an actual organization that's competent in order to do that. We all know the main reason as to why the Mets weren't so great, and it was 100% the ownership, right? No, it was just they were the low Mets, right? They always screw up, right? And look at them now. New ownership, actually competent, great experience for fans. People singing My Girl all the time. It's a great experience, but hey, ownership has nothing to do with it. Look at our win-loss record.
Nope. Ownership, culture. Actually, no. I can't say that because JT Miller was the culture changer. JT fucking Miller, the guy who hasn't, the guy who hasn't won a goddamn thing in his fucking career. But we're supposed to believe that he's the next Mark Messier.
I heard he had a hat trick tonight in the Cancun finals. Did you see that?
Actually, I heard that he got a hole in one today because he was practicing his golf for the U.S. Open.
Wow.
Fucking terrible.
And, yeah, that too. We have our Jeff McNeil now, and you know what though, JT Miller, he's so good though. Look at the production he put up here. The record was worse when he was here versus without him here.
No, the record doesn't matter. You got to look deep into it. But wait. The record does matter when we're talking about some other stuff.
Yeah, no, the record only matters.
The record only matters when we need to make the team look good. Okay, that's basically it. Evan, you have no idea what you're talking about. So.
Nope, I have no clue. I'm an idiot. I'm a jerk off. I should just jump off a bridge and end this channel.
Miserable. Miserable people. Yep. It's not about the organization that can't lay in their own shit. It's not about that.
Never about that. Gonna name JT Miller the next captain.
Probably him or Trocheck.
Yeah, it's either him or Trocheck, or they're gonna like hold hands and be the captain together.
They'll be co-captains as they fucking make stakes together and make out.
Yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Rempe. That's basically all the entire message that they're sending. Basically, just be a fucking sideshow, be a gimmick. That's all they want. So they don't want to win. They don't care. They obviously do not care. It's evident now.
And here we are, the suckers that do care.
No, well, it's a bad brand, I guess. If you can't beat them, join them. I guess we're just gonna be sitting here, enabling everything this team does. That's all we have to do. Guess what? I ain't doing it. If you think I'm going to, you can kiss my ass.
I'm not even going to pay attention to the start of the next season because you know what? My ass will be sitting in either Citi Field or in front of my TV watching the Mets in the playoffs. And I'll be enjoying that.
I'm watching football next year. I'm watching football. And you know what? I'm annoyed that I instead would watch this shit while my team was on a Super Bowl run, and I would pay attention to this. I'd have the Eagles games on, but like I wouldn't be as dialed in as I was to this because I'm just an idiot.
Dude.
And yeah, I'd rather watch that. Even the Knicks would rather watch. Legit anything else. I mean, this shit is just not that I would even go to Knicks games though, because I'm not giving
tortured, to be honest.
I'm not giving Dolan money even for the Knicks. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know if this channel's gonna change to something else or not. I mean, we still have some streams lined up. We have one lined up actually for tomorrow, which will be fun, where we're doing a player grid, where everyone's just pretty much going to be in the bottom left quadrant here. But yeah.
Of course, they even had to ruin that for us. We were like, oh, we're going to come here, shoot the shit, say some fun stuff. Nope. It all got to be overshadowed by this dipshit getting fucking more money.
And you know what? And you know what the thing is, like, because we should have expected this, but it genuinely caught me off.
It's uncanny.
So off guard that this fucking happened. But like I was saying, we shouldn't be surprised because this is just how incompetent. Like we were just sitting there, me, Evan, and Dave.
Because how else would you end a day where the Mets win 7 in a row? You obviously have to extend a dog shit GM, right?
Me, Evan, and Dave, we were just sitting right by the Seaver statue, shooting the shit. And then Evan literally tells me, it's like, yo, the Rangers extended Chris Drury. I'm like, there's no way the fuck they did. And then I go on my phone, I see the Twitter notification. I'm like, oh my fucking God. They actually fucking did it. Like
You would think that like someone I knew died with my face when that news dropped. Like that's how much.
I was in general disbelief. I couldn't believe it. It's just like, I mean, it's just like Carson said. Like, we need to stop saying, "How can it get worse?"
I love the people
'Cause it
that say
clearly
this shit.
fucking does.
This shit always kills me the most because these are the people that will also be like, because this is the same type of person, right?
I'd like to see you do it. Kiss my ass.
This type of person is the same one that whenever I'm critiquing the Rangers for playing poorly on a certain night, they'll be like, well, even pros aren't perfect. So does the same not apply to management? Like, could we call a spade here then? That, okay.
You're being a fake fan.
Could we call a spade here? So could we agree that the players can't be perfect every night and management's not perfect? Could we agree there? Or is that too much to ask for, right?
I'd like to see you go do it.
I'd love to do
okay,
it.
give me a pair of skates, give me a contract, and I'll do it.
I'd love to manage this freaking team. I think anyone would do a better job than Chris Drury.
Is it
Can
such
we
a
call
bad
incompetence
thing?
when it's incompetent? Can we? Wait. So I'm not a professional singer, so I can't say what Kanye is doing is. I can't say that certain things that he's saying is bad, right? I can't say that because no, I've never been a professional singer in my life. No, I'm not a professional artist or musician, so I have to shut the hell up and I can't say anything about what Kanye is saying, right? Nope. Let me take a back seat.
Only singers can talk about music. That's it.
Hey, listen, right? We've never been a fucking a baseball manager before in our lives, but I guess we can't critique how Mendy manages the bullpen, right? Guess can't do that, right?
It's only if you have something nice to say.
Yeah, no, you can't say someone it's unheard of apparently for people to suck at their jobs. That's why we have in this world people that get fired from their jobs, but apparently
now
that's
impossible. I need Rempy. Andrew, fuck off. All right, you know what? Wallow in the pain with us. All right, eat shit.
Andrew, don't you have some good ass chicken to eat?
Or something to tickle?
Something to tickle.
To be honest, he'd be a good panel to put on here. But to be honest, it's past midnight. I wouldn't. If you want to be monetized, I wouldn't.
I mean, it's not that this matters.
It's not like it matters, man. It's really completely gone to shit, man. That they really just. I hate saying like, yeah, this is the end of the world, but yeah, this is pretty much in at the Rangers world right here. That's it.
Damn, LA's freaking killing Edmonton right now.
Yeah, and Colorado and Dallas going to overtime.
I'd like to see you manage.
Yep.
LA.
That's like basically going up to a drug addict. Basically going up to a drug addict and being like, hey, you shouldn't do that. Oh, guess what? You were never a drug addict. You wouldn't know. God. I'd like to see you do it.
At least Mark had the balls to say what we all want to do.
You know what? I wish that one of Matt or Dave took a picture when the news just dropped of my face. I wish they did. So there was proof that I was sitting on the Seaver statue, looking like the picture that I put up of the guy shitting in the urinal. Like that was legit. I had the same exact face and reaction.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, what I got from it was, I mean, I'm pretty sure I got the news actually from Andrew. He sent it to me, and I was like, yeah, that seems about right.
That's on brand.
Yeah, it's on brand. Yeah, pretty much.
What else would you expect from them?
I'm so done with the benefit of the doubt that like I don't have to wait for the other shoe to drop. I know the other shoe's gonna drop. So it's never. I swear to God, I don't want to hear any Ranger fan tell me anything is okay now. Like I swear. I feel like I would just like be. No more. Stop.
Yo, Richard, get fucking lost, bro. I mean,
Richard, no one
What?
cares about you. Seriously.
get fucking lost.
Like no one cares, dude. Like you're entertaining no one. You're performing for no one. Get a load of this guy. No, get a load of all of us. We're all pissed. Except you.
Carson's is not the only fake fan anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry for not repping my team that just extended the dumbest person known to man.
Yeah, no, the Rangers just did a stupid thing. Let me go rock my Rangers jersey actually right now.
Yeah.
Let me go rock from head to toe. Rangers hat, Rangers jersey, Rangers pants, Rangers socks. Let me go rock the full uniform and act like I'm on the team. Let me go actually put the skates on and helmet too.
And you know what the one thing is? I'm actually proud to wear this team's colors. I'm proud to wear this team's jersey and hat because they actually put a competent fucking product on the field, and they have a vision and they know what they're doing. You want me to fucking rock a Ranger
Still
jersey?
the Ets, though. Still the Ets.
Still the Ets until that one man.
Till that one man gets erased. We're getting close. We're getting close to all of the slop out of there. We're getting close, but
If you
You
know,
know.
you know.
I mean, listen, it's so bad that even fucking Evan couldn't wear a fucking Ranger jersey to Chipotle to get a fucking a burrito bowl and or two bowls for a deal like that.
Burrito and a ball.
A burrito and a bowl. It's just.
you wouldn't find me dead wearing a Rangers jersey at this point.
I want to burn all my Ranger shit.
I'm disgusted. I really am. If you're not disgusted at this, you just don't understand. You're not getting the point.
Then
You don't
you're the
understand the
problem.
point. You're part of the problem. You are the issue. You just won't slay like the rest of us.
No more playoffs.
No more playoffs for you.
We're just all a bunch of scapegoats.
We're all a bunch of scapegoats and mouthpieces. Sorry, we don't enable everything that the organization puts in front of you. My apologies. My apologies. Sorry. Would you rather be lied to? Unbelievable. Brother, we don't care. And Juan Soto's on our team. We don't care. We're glad
No,
he's
he's
here.
he's
we
comparing-
welcome him.
No,
Broski,
he's comparing a
you're
salary cap
comparing-
sport.
You're comparing fucking two different one has nothing to do with the other. The one sport in the MLB is a fucking luxury tax thing. If your owner is willing to pay the luxury tax, I don't give a fuck how much he pays for a player. But if and then the NHL
Sidetracking because you have no argument. Got it.
Every single one of us would not give a shit what they're paying Igor if there was a luxury tax. We all would have
No
wanted
one
him
would
extended.
care.
No one would care.
No one would care. Seriously, no one would care.
But that's not how the NHL works, unfortunately. We wish
God,
it
there's
was.
always one. Why is there? It's always like with the three of us here. There's always one guy in the chat. He's like, you know, like, why is it always like this? There's always one guy that's just like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna be different here. I'm chesting up to the man. Don't tell us how to do the show. Like, fuck off. And meanwhile, yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, the Mets are winning. The Mets have the best record in all of baseball right now. But hey, that doesn't matter because that doesn't support your claim. Only records matter when it supports your claim. So go on. Go off, King. Secure your bag.
Yeah, exactly, Anthony. What a way to celebrate our centennial season. 4 good seasons and 96 years of failure.
I promise you that it's going to change with us. I promise you. Because honestly, I genuinely don't know what the future even holds with this channel. Because this shit is just not worth it at all.
I think we should just do a bunch of content of playing pretend. That's it. We're just going to pretend we're hockey players. That's it.
No, we already are pretending that we're GMs, apparently.
Yeah, we're pretending we're GMs.
I mean, Kaylee, listen, you don't have to miss Kreider. You just got to look up, and he'll be right there.
He'll always be there in your memory. Yeah.
We just got to look up.
He's not dead or anything, you know. It's just
What if Central? If Man Central.
If Man Central. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. If Man. Look up in the sky. Actually, If Man homered today.
Yeah, but there's always a catch.
Yeah, there is always a catch.
89 stuff plus.
Did you update the spreadsheet?
I actually didn't because I was busy today, but I can.
Hashtag,
oh my God.
Hashtag, you're not fooling me.
You're not fooling me.
Wait until the Rangers extend Panarin. Oh, listen, a contract extension is already in the work. Listen, the Carson Soucy contract extension's already coming. Give it a couple days. Carson Soucy extended 5 times 6.5. That's our new number one defenseman, along with Adam Fox.
Let's see you do it, Central.
Let's see you do it. I'd like to see you go play. I have a question for you guys. Who is a worse run team and ownership, the Jets or the Rangers? The Jets are definitely... They're probably more shit, but...
listen,
we're getting close.
Listen, the Jets are worse, but the Rangers are seriously making
the Jets don't have a President's Trophy, so...
I
think
say
about that.
Oop there. That's just me.
Yeah. Madoff versus Manson.
Panarin winning the team MVP and what happened with the reports. Yeah, sure. It's even more of a clown show that the guy was even allowed to fucking play.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they just extended Drury to sweep this entire story under the rug. They just like, Drury, we like you. You're a home dog. Keep it. You can stick around, bro. Yep.
You know,
I was going to say one comparison, but that would get me canceled.
With this? Because I had something that I could say, but it would get me canceled too. But yeah.
Oh.
It's fine.
Oh no, not with that. I was talking about like the equivalents to Madoff versus Manson or piss versus shit. I had another one, but it's too sensitive a subject right now.
This also, I have something that would get me a one-way slingshot off the Whitestone, but
it's the same people who don't want Kreider are the same people that are happy with this extension of Chris Drury. Same people.
Yeah,
they're the same people that applaud.
They're the same people having good chuckles right now
with their
without a certain
best
someone.
buddies.
Yeah. I'm going to test something out right now. Ready? Well, obviously, it can't get any worse.
Yeah, they're the same people.
Give it a moment.
They're the same people that, you know, I'm not going to say the part that I was going to, but they're the same people that love when Mika and Kreider hug at the end of games.
Hugs per 60, baby. It's the only stat that matters. The power of friendship, as Brian was saying. Friendships over championships. That's the motto of this organization. And that's why, listen, like Arthur Staple can deny that, you know, that at least for today, that John Tortorella isn't coming. But listen, you all know James Dolan loves John Tortorella. And for me,
it's so happening now.
And that's for me, that's all I got to hear.
Meanwhile, for ours, Dolan and crew just took a gigantic shit all over the Rangers logo as a whole and franchise. So I'm not even looking forward to any of that.
I'm working on a graphic right now. I'm just
he's gonna steal Mike Sullivan. Everything's okay.
Yeah,
he's got Mikey S.
Yeah, because why the fuck?
Who we've also talked about, who's also been told us to us is who was also the problem in Pittsburgh. So,
He was the scapegoat.
he was he was the non-scapegoat. Hextall was the scapegoat. Am I right, Andrew? You still in here? Fellow Penguins fan? Am I right? I'm just making a graphic right now, like of about my other team because I have a show to do tomorrow. Making a graphic right now, looking at these beautiful earned run averages of these Mets pitchers. Oh, such a great time to be alive as a Mets fan. Then you look over here at the Rangers chat and just seeing everybody want to kill themselves. It's just like duality of man, right? Duality of man. The Rangers have become the Wilpon run Mets.
This is entering worse territory at this point. Like, we might be lapping the Wilpon Mets. Because I could genuinely sit here.
We're getting close to the Marge shot run Reds. Like, this is how bad this is getting.
I could genuinely sit here and say that Brody Van Wagenen looks like a genius in comparison to Chris Drury. And in case anyone is not a Met fan or just does not know, Brody Van Wagenen's a fucking dumbass.
I don't know. I think he's kind of misunderstood when you think about it.
Drury makes fucking Billy Epler look good. That's fucking saying something.
Epler at least
Ep dog
didn't trade. It didn't trade away talent for mediocre talent to mediocre talent.
Ep dog.
The one that's got to be put down.
Fucking Billy Epler.
Sorry. Sorry. Sorry, just blacked out there for a second.
That's too fucking good.
That is sorry.
I didn't give a shit at this point. That's fucking great.
Please, someone tell me how the fucking Mets last year can put Luis Angel Acuna into a time where they're fighting where they're scraping for every single win to try to make the playoffs. But Gabe Perreault, the Rangers are in a playoff spot? Nope, you got us in the press box, buddy. You can't play. You have to sit, observe, and
you
learn.
have to experience the greatness.
Hashtag enjoy the show.
Meanwhile, the fucking Canadians, they fucking toss Ivan Demidov right into the fire as they're fucking battling to make the final playoff spots. Fucking Ryan Leonard, who was Gabe Perreault's teammate in BC and for the World Juniors, is currently playing really big minutes right now for the Capitals in the playoffs right now. But no, Gabe Perreault in do or die games, which the fucking Rangers weren't even making the playoffs anyway. Like, let's all be fucking honest with ourselves.
Well,
and nope.
Well, there's still hope, right? There's still hope. We're still in contention right now, right?
As long as there's delusion, there's hope.
Okay. I mean, there's probably some Ranger fans that think we're in the playoffs right now.
Fucking Brian, right here. Zeev William, first NHL game in the fucking playoffs.
The playoffs?
The playoffs.
Is that the playoffs? That's incredible.
Fucking the Avs a couple years ago with Cale Makar made his NHL debut in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But Gabe Perreault.
Yeah, no, yeah, Brody Van Wagenen in that move, he was like, oh, yeah, we brought in Stroman so we can replace Wheeler. And then he's like, okay, then trade Wheeler, you dumbass. Oh my God, this is fantastic. This should be so much fun.
Chris Drury makes Mike Milbury look good as a GM. And listen, I wish I could fucking beat Chris Drury with a shoe like Mike Milbury did with that fan.
It's like when Gurney and Trey all those years ago. I forgot. Oh, I think it was actually with Milbury to Garth Snow, and he's just like, they went from smallpox to tuberculosis. It's like we're witnessing the same shit right now with the Rangers. It's just like we went from smallpox to tuberculosis with Drury. It's fucking terrible.
What a shit show, man.
I'll take a few more comments and I'm just gonna end this shit because we're gonna have more to say tomorrow during the stream. It's gonna be fucking great. That stream, this stream just got like, it was already gonna be great. This got like a million times better with the player grading.
Because now we can say, what would Drury do?
Food poisoning.
I gotta put Drury as an option for the graphic too. Like I gotta put him.
Oh, we know where he's
Him
going.
and I should probably
and
put
Dolan.
Laviolette too, even though he got canned.
Dolan should be there too.
Oh, he got. Oh, wait. Laviolette got fired? Why? didn't
I'm
know
not
that.
sure what time I'm streaming tomorrow, just because I'm gonna be busy most of the night. You know, Padme on the big screen, kind of a big deal to me, right? And then the NFL draft's also gonna be on, which will, you know, that's gonna take like by the time that movie's done, they're probably gonna be up to like the 10th pick, knowing the NFL draft. So at least I won't miss a Howie Roseman masterclass. I don't know. It will probably
the Raiders
be
have
like,
already reached on something. Yeah.
long story short, it will probably be like around 10:30. If I had to make an early guess,
Yeah.
maybe a bit later, but you'll find out for sure.
Definitely after dark, so we can say the most professional shit known to man.
It's only going to be professional. Don't worry. We're very
Only
professional.
No one here needs to get canceled. We're all just a couple fine gentlemen looking for a discussion.
We just
It's all about
need to
a
have a talk.
creative discussion
Yeah, we're just gonna have a creative dialogue.
of who should be breathing and who shouldn't be.
I really wish that
Sorry.
Nick could be here for the stream tomorrow. I freaking wish he would.
Mm.
He would get canceled tomorrow. I'm gonna have to do the Carson intro with Andrew. Don't cancel me if someone else says something stupid. Just cancel him. Don't cancel me.
Go after him.
And listen, if we didn't get canceled with our Twitter post today, then I'm pretty sure we're good.
No, I mean, that
tuberculosis,
app
these
doesn't
AIDS.
give a shit.
Drury, I wish you. The Rangers fucking give me AIDS by watching them.
If Mark didn't get canceled over yesterday, you guys are fine. Oh, I mean, Mark said what everyone thought, but like he just actually said it. So
Yeah, you got to give credit. Bro has balls.
Not all heroes wear capes. Some of them just misspell names. And that's the great Mark Williams for you.
And provide layups.
Wait, what shirt do heroes usually have on?
RTL. Anyway.
Oh my god.
All right. I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you everyone though for tuning in and watching. We'll be back tomorrow, like I said, doing a nice professional live stream. It will be a fun conversation, very serious conversation as well. So be there, be on the lookout for that. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we do go live tomorrow, and we'll see you guys in the next one.